9:30 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that taste.
Visions of you.
Come closer. You, 9:30 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you. You know I suggest.
Hello, and welcome back. We are here with none other than finally the game that should have happened, well, yesterday, realistically, but instead, got delayed a little bit because CS updates love it, and I am joined with none other than the love of my life, Buckethead.
Yes, hello. Me and All-In are very happy together as always, and I'm excited to be here. I did cast, actually, we did cast for Lycus on Monday, and we're here to see them play again. This time against Vita, who they did play in the regular season, so it's going to be a little bit of a rematch, and we'll have to see who can get the upper hand this time.
Yeah, and I mean, we have seen kind of these teams already play through this bracket a little bit. Plasma already 2-0'd Zombler's Academy. It went Ancient 13-8, 13-5 Inferno, with Hamburger going 22-12 on map 1, and Chanty going 18-8 on map 2. Lycus, though, flip side of it as well, 2-0'd Mr. Bub's Fan Club. I know, shocked, I'm sure we all are. Okay. It won 13-10 Anubis, 13-5 Dust 2. So kind of pretty much a similar scoreline with Joso. Of course, Joso going best in the server there for both maps at 23-15 and 19-9. And I expect nothing else from this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is a beast in the server, no matter what map you put him on. And speaking of maps, we'll go like this first. Last time these two teams played, it was a 2-1. And the map pool was similar. Excuse me, as I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what the three were, but I know Ancient and Anubis were in that. Today, we are going to see Ancient, Anubis, not in that order. It's Anubis first, and then Ancient, and then map 3, which is a little bit of a curveball, is Nuke, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the kind of teams that you expect to probably go all three maps. And whoever does win this goes on to play Akimbo. Akimbo is already 2-0 Notorious and 2-1 SOB. So Akimbo are fairly versed and warmed up as is. But speaking of warmed up, it seems like we're already into the game.
Yes, sir. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, this is the map pick of, excuse me as I fumble really quick because I forgot. This is the map pick of Vita, and then Ancient was picked by Lycus, and Nuke being the decider, as I said before. I think this is pretty much what was more or less expected. Uh-oh. Seems a disconnect has come through. No, I did. That was not the way I expected knife round to end. But as I was discussing, this is pretty much the map pick that I expect from both of these sides. Both of these teams love Anubis and Ancient collectively. Nuke, though, I don't believe Vita have played Nuke, at least in recent history from when I remember. They haven't played it during OSS, I know for sure. And Lycus, the last time I saw them play it was during Season 51 of ESEA League, I believe only in regular season. So that's why I'm all excited. I think that's a really interesting talking point if it can go all three, which, knowing these two teams, it most likely will. So yeah, I'm super hyped. Yeah, I mean, yesterday obviously we had a lot of tech issues, and then I know just throughout like ESEA League being played today, there were a decent bit of issues as well. Hopefully this one will be resolved, as is only one player not able to connect, and it's not like a whole server malfunction this time. But he's apparently launching right now, so it only should be a few more seconds, and we can get straight into it. This one is Vitas. Yeah. Yeah, we should talk about that. It will be Ajax in now instead of Bob. This roster addition just made official, I believe today actually. He did play on Monday in the ECA League, but the team officially announced it today on Twitter that he will be the new player for, excuse me, for the team. And I mean, from what I've seen of him, he's a very impactful player. It took him a little bit of time to get started during their game that we casted together, but I think he's a really exciting prospect for this team. Yeah, he's gonna have to go very big here. He does have the bomb on his back, so that is at least a slight plus side. And the CTs have all rotated towards that B bomb site, so Joso might be able to catch a timing, depending on how fast he wants to act. It will only be one player sort of looking towards water to see if the rotate is possible. But as long as he goes towards the rugs, it doesn't seem that the CTs really want to budge yet. As I'm saying that, he goes down the stairs instead, and it does seem like Kunai might catch him out. Shot does fire, but Joso escapes with his life, and now the A bomb site is still wide open for him to take. Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was really interesting that they let the bomb be planted there and let the T's get that little economic bonus. It might be able to come back and bite them. We'll have to see, as only one AK is brought into the round, 2 pistols and 2 MAC-10s. And for the CTs, I mean, pretty much everything you want. MP9 might as well be a rifle at this point with how powerful it is. And the T's playing slow back towards mid to start. Oh. Yeah, and getting the upgrade out of the MP9 and upgrading one of those rifles to an AK does mean that Vita's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Really quick, it does seem like there is a tech issue. So that is going to have to be accounted for. But yeah, I mean, pretty standard from what you expect. Vita able to clean up a nice round against that 4-spy. Yeah, it does seem like the server is a little...
OBS switched my settings from my mic. No one heard me at all this whole time, dude. I hate OBS, dude. I generally...
Oh. Oh, no.
Dude, no one's heard anything. Why would OBS switch settings? Okay, man. Okay. Whatever. OBS.
Well, on the bright side, at least everyone got to hear the smooth sound of my voice.
Yeah, and then silence abruptly followed. Whatever. Oh, that's so annoying. But so on point.
Here, have your time to shine. You get this round. I'll give it to you.
Oh,
Thanks. You give me the eco round. Oh, but the boost comes up. Hamburger does find one. Ajax quickly out. Nade falls down to Hamburger. He's down to 47. He's going to get pushed back, but the T's are kind of down a man already with minimal damage done. And it is just the pistol upgrades here with not much else going. Some utility smoke, Molly, and a single flash there on Stormzy. And it seems like they're going to kind of flip this one around and head to A site this time.
Yeah, but the CTs, I mean, they're just playing safe. They're playing back, splitting up 2-1-2. They're going to be more than ready for this hit to come in. The Molly actually preemptively stopping the push that is to come. First contact will be that FAMAS that just backed up into heaven. Maxwell, knowing that the T's are coming, lines up a nade, has to fall back before it's through. And this actually puts Lycus in a decent position.
Oh, good shots going in there. Gets the trades in, but still a man disadvantage here for Lycus. Bomb is going to get planted. So, again, the Pistols doing the bare minimum requirements here to continue the purchasing of essentials here. But it is going to be one more to fall. They double up towards heaven. They find one, but maybe they can keep going. But no, Stormzy runs out of ammo. Finds himself one. Quickly traded there, leaving two alive. And the CT economy, take a quick glance at it, is starting to build up a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, and I mean, those players that were peeking out from the boat room area did do it perfectly, baiting the low HP player so the high HP player could swing and get that kill straight onto Stormy right as the M4 ran out of bullets. Lycus, however, having enough money to full buy all the utility they could ever want is in their hands. We'll have to see what they can do. Try to get a little bit more map control now that the economy is not in their favor, but at least workable.
Hopefully they can kind of revitalize this T-side round here. Starting off 3-0 is kind of rough to come back on. But, again, this is Plasma's map pick. So not all is lost, even if this one does go awry for them. There is, some light at the end of this tunnel.
That's all you can hope for sometimes, man. Sometimes you just need some light at the end of the tunnel. Obviously, 3-0 isn't the way you want to start, but it's nothing that's impossible to recover from. Although, if Lycus don't get the ball rolling, obviously you want as many T rounds as you can on a map like Anubis, where it is still favored. One of the maps that I would say has a significant side difference, albeit 5-7 is standard. But you still want to make sure you can get all those T rounds in as you can. And now the T's are slowly starting to group towards B. His face will be Joso, and Saber. Op rings true, forcing the T's to now push out. Ajax trading back onto Hamburger, but the nice spray from Kuai will be able to take him out. Gone. Then the AK fire from the E-box, and as the pizza player swings, trades back and forth, Ajax is going to be by himself, having to fend against Saber on the back sight. Op will go down, but Maxwell's flank is very powerful. Ajax is so low. And the bomb is down with only 12 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to act very fast.
Oh, he might get the bomb down at least here. Maxwell is going to try and challenge us to stop it, but to no avail. I mean, they're consistently getting the bomb plants, which is great and all, but 4-0 is kind of rough. They do kind of recover that op. Mitigates the losses. I mean, we are seeing some success here from Lycus outside of this bomb plant. We're seeing it get down. It was a, 3 left live for CT a couple rounds ago. Then it was 2, and now it's 1. So we're seeing small steps of progress. It's just very small. And hopefully this is the capitalizing round where, all right, they've done some damage. They can kind of be close to breaking the CT side economy if they can win this one. We are seeing a downgrade to that MP9 on Chanty. So there is, again, a chance. But that's kind of what we're rolling with. It's a make or break for both sides at this point. But Lycus do at least have the loss bonus.
Yeah, they do. So AKs are still out for them. Although Saber is going to open up that round. Kill onto Dreza through the smoke. Now, I mean, this already disrupts Lycus's kind of whole vibe into the round. 3-player B stack, very powerful for the CT so far. But it seems attentions will be turning to mid as Hamburger finds the face of Ajax. Joso there for the trade and mid control now in favor of Lycus.
Hopefully they can ramp up this mid aggression and maybe split towards this A site. We are seeing this long lurk of Gone. He's setting up some utility to try and make his way in towards this A side. It is just a Heaven player. Hopefully Joso can clear this close left angle. Takes a fight, but Maxwell with the quick trade. Stormzy gets it right back. It's a 2-on-3. Man disadvantage again for the T's.
The Molly Heaven will not stop Kuhai, who is able to find Gon, and now Stormy just left on the low HP.
Oh.
Those the Heaven players there. So then, oh my goodness, the spray finds the 1v3 before I can even get the words out of my mouth. The nade was perfectly placed, and Stormy just putting those bullets perfectly into the two players' heads finds Lycus their first round.
And a much needed round indeed, but it was coming down to just Stormzy, prevailing 3K, bumping his ADR up to 114 now. Op recovered, but this is kind of a mixed buy for both sides. We're seeing Deagles, 5.7s, MP9s come out for the CTs, and 2 MAC-10s, 2 AKs, and that Op, obviously, for the Ts.
Outside A main aggression is not going to go the way that Vital wanted, as they're already a man down. And the space is now given for the CTs to at least group into the water and try to regroup into E-Box. As now there is a little bit of util starting to flood the B site. A backstab from Maxwell. We'll find Ajax. Dreza there for the trade. But Lycus have to activate now. The CTs are in a powerful position at this pillar. Trades back and forth, but it will see the CTs coming out on top. Vita now 2v2. AK's recovered. And Dreza's going to have to work some magic if he wants to get back in.
This could absolutely cripple Lycus as Dreza quite loudly drops, but ooh, gets across. Not unscathed, 41 HP, but he does have the op, so not too big a deal, and at least Gone. Actually, 42 and 40, 83 HP combined, but if we take a look at the CTs, they are 100% unscathed in every way possible. But it doesn't seem like Lycus are going to shy away from this B site. It seems like they're actually going to re-aggress. Gone, not going to use this molly on that close left angle, and this is going to come back to bite them 100%.
Yeah, especially now that the bullets ring out, Chanty able to just spray him down. Dreza's op is all that left, and that falls as well. So 5-1, Vita find some very, very dominant performance early on in the half.
Take a look at this, and I mean, if Lycus can kind of maybe pull something from this round, even if it's like leaving 2 alive for the, I mean, obviously the goal is always winning the round, but if they can continue to just take away and, you know, making Plasma reinvest consistently, we're still seeing these MP9s come out. It's a 5-1 scoreline, but it doesn't seem like the purchasing power is really there for them yet. I mean, obviously the same goes for Lycus with, you know, consistent losses here, but this is something that they can maybe be at least a little hopeful for.
Yeah, they are able to keep the CT side modest, and Ajax taking down Saber early on through that smoke. Very nice find for Lycus. Now running down into camera. The T's will start to overwhelm Hambugu, who has to fall back towards main, and the smoke might fade just in time for Gon to find a kill. Stormy also collects one himself. Hambugu's there with the MP9. But the side has been completely given up, and Vita, for the first time, are going to be at a disadvantage on a retake.
Yeah, the smoke's playing a big part for both sides in getting these kills here, as Dreza going to kind of post up here, kind of playing contact here, waiting, activates, finds himself one. Now he's just going to play the angle, play in for a little bait and switch if necessary. And maybe he might just be able to pull it out Ajax sprays, but Dreza continues to fire away there, finds himself 2, and Lycus find themselves 2 as well.
Yeah, I mean, so far, a lot of these rounds are a little too close for comfort for both of those teams. You saw the player, Cameron, not able to get the kill before the push. Dreza, luckily enough, was ready for that swing. But yeah, no, I mean, no matter what round we've looked at, all these have come down to very, very close player counts. We'll have to see if that continues, as the CTs are now on a broken bank.
Yeah, but the 5.7s and MP9s, it doesn't matter what your economy is. You'll die all the same, apparently. As Stormzy, they're all kind of stuck in between each other. We're seeing a flank actually already come in here from the rest of the CTs, and if they continue to slow play this one and kind of drag this round out, this could actually come back to bite them. And, oh, man, they actually walk right past the T-side player themselves there. Dinks come in. 5-7, of course, gets the kill. Why wouldn't it? It is a pretty broken gun. Make it another one. Why not? MP9s, it doesn't matter. See, this is... unpredictableness is really what we're seeing here.
That's probably the worst case scenario for Lycus to have happen to them. Half of those gunfights they weren't even able to do anything about. That flick from the MP9 onto the player rugs was absolutely disgusting. And
did he not have head armor or something? Like, I've never seen someone die so quick at range from MP9.
I think he did. I think he just all three of the bullets, straight to his dome. But I mean, what do you even do if you're Ajax here? This round is unwinnable. The time is now down, so you really got no choice but to just try to save that AK. And if the CTs want to hunt, which they shouldn't considering their economy, but
I mean, they can throw the MAC-10 out, but like that's really all they're probably gonna want to gamble, if anything. I mean, rifles are rifles, and we take a look at that CT side money. We see 2 players on essentially $0.
Yeah, that's just such an unfortunate round to watch play out.
The Lycus curse is real. First eco rounds.
Finding 6 on CT side this early is really, really powerful, and Lycus gotta get the ball rolling. It probably won't be in this round, as the money is so low for 3 of their players. But
I mean, at this point, it's who can win 2 in a row. That's what this is gonna revolve into.
Oh.
And I mean,
that was ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
One sec. Like, I mean, at this point, both sides are struggling to win the rounds they should, and are losing the rounds they also should. Like, it is NACS through and through is the best way I can really describe this at this point. And I mean, take a look even at the scoreboard, and I mean, not too much a standout star. We do see Konai at 10-5 and Stormzy at 9-7. But I mean, this is just, lack of a better way of wording this, Lycus just being outplayed right now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and Vita's defense has looked really good so far. I'm interested to the fact that they're not giving up mid as many times as most CT teams will. Normally, you would see a player play there very early and then fall back and completely forego the position. But Hambuga has been steadfast, holding towards mid-house, and it's just great all around. Now we see Lycus just completely grouping up towards B. With limited guns, it's really what you gotta do.
Ooh. Well, that nade didn't hurt as much as it looked like it did, but... I mean, I at this point, you kind of gotta look at it, and Lycus, the success rate on your B hits are quintessentially 0. A has been... what rounds they have won, I think, came down to A-Site. And the success of bomb plants. I mean, A-Site seems to be the weaker hold as of right now. Not saying that can't change in the very next round, or if this hit alone with, a hero rifle, which we didn't even talk about. Ajax obviously having the solo rifle save from last round. But it seems like they're going to be back to this B-Site with under a minute left.
Yeah, and soon the Utah will begin to cover the map. So this will mean that the T's have to go. Kuai able to find 2 early on. The Galil almost finds a 3rd, but instead it will be Chanty. 2 trades back in the favor of Lycus. Bajoso by himself now, Tech 9 in hand. Sprays down Chanty, not ready for Maxwell. Close behind, and Vita find a 7th. Complete, I would say complete dominance, but these rounds are still close. I mean, only 2 players surviving against effectively just 1 rifle is still not the type of round when you want, but it's working.
I mean, I think, 2 things come into factor here for realistically both sides. The fact that, 2 players are alive on the CT side fairly consistently means, the rounds are close. But the fact that they're hitting 5 players to one site versus, a 5-on-3 on B site, that means, and, CTs are prevailing, means the trades aren't there. The positioning's kind of either split or gapped in some way that's leaving the CTs kind of, an easy, vulnerable point for them to kind of, that couldn't have been better timed, I think, for them to cross. But, yeah, I think it's just, that Lycus still has some kinks to work out in their kind of, execution.
Yeah, and now the CT's starting to get aggressive in A main, so depending on how fast Lycus play this, there could be an interesting timing with the backstab. Gon picks up the first kill in the round, finding Chanty and taking him out. But now hits coming through. Kuhai is on a fast flank. The Molotov will give his position away. Dreza there to hold it, and the other two CTs are just playing for main. Maxwell eliminating Ajax, and Hambuga is a menace in A main, finding to himself Dreza and Joso. All that remain, but they both fall, and 8-2 is what the scoreline will be.
I mean, this is looking, I wouldn't say sloppy, again, just kind of Lycus, they don't look comfortable. Maybe that's just because Plasma's having their way with them right now, and that's, 6-round advantage kind of plays in that. Again, this is, Plasma's map pick, so, but at the same time, Lycus aren't, unknown to this map. They just won, 13-10 in a series prior to this on Anubis. So, I'm not saying that maybe they're just not warmed up. Maybe this just isn't their map, and maybe Ancient really will be their home.
But there is still time. We'll have to see what they want to do. The Pistols now just completely running through the site. CT's playing passive. Looking like they're wanting to give up a bomb plant once more. Dreza gonna swing straight into the arms of Maxwell. Takes 2 heads with him. And Lycus already, I mean, this is gonna be a hard site to hold.
Stormzy missing with the Tech 9, close range, Gone just tapping. 5 alive, and for the first time in quite a while, we're seeing these rounds be strung together in pretty dominant fashion as Plasma themselves are more starting to wake up. 5 alive, and, it seems like they're comfortable with giving up the bomb plant because they're so confident in these retakes that they don't have a problem giving them these bomb plants, knowing that, we're capable. We can do it. Mid-round, late round, early round, doesn't matter. Plasma's winning the fights through and through right now.
And double up setup will come out. There is a rifle dropped in the spawn, so potentially only for the beginning. Chanty trying to take this water peak. I don't think he's going to be able to catch anyone off as the player already crossed through. But Lycus trying to just maintain some basic map control early on. Flashes will slightly disturb the CTs. And now 2 players in A main will take contact with the op. No kills coming through yet. And Boog is going to get stuck in the middle, though. Luckily for him, 2 A main Ts fall off. And now this is good. They're just playing together, grouping up, and holding these positions in the maps to make the CTs uncomfortable.
And it's really working to her advantage now as well, because now we're seeing Sabe going to be walking scoped in with this op, closely followed, though, by Maxwell with the support, but that may not be needed as the first contact might go from mid on Ajax. Hambuga might have spotted something. He did backpedal fairly abruptly there, so I think he did spot out Ajax in mid. Now he's just going to hold the cross and wait for him to play contact as Sabe instead finds skill with the op, and that is going to give that man advantage again early on to Plasma.
Yeah, and it looks like they know exactly what's going on. Lycus will most likely have control of the B bomb site when they first hit out, but a full CT rotate is already being planned. Joso first out as Hambuga slowly aggresses through the smoke along with Gohai. And the kills are just flooding through. Dreza by himself will be taken out last. 10-2 is the scoreline going into the half. That is what a dominant CT side performance looks like.
Yeah. And, I mean, if Lycus want to have a semblance of hope here in this map, pistol round, force buy, and the full buy, they need to win at least 3. They have to play borderline flawless from here on out. And if they don't, maybe they can gamble on OT. But at this point, you need to build up some momentum so you're not kind of mentally struggling going into the following map.
Yeah, and especially being on the CT side, if they can't win this pistol, it's going to be very hard. Gon, not wanting to give up, finds 2 early on. Stormy there to find 2 himself, so already just 1 T left. Looking good early on for Lycus Empire. Dreza collects the last soul, and Lycus still have a little bit of fire.
Yeah, not gone, not out just yet, and maybe in the most realist sense, you kind of just look at your teammates and go, hey, two's all we need. We're a CT side team anyway. I mean, most people don't say that because you usually need more than two, but maybe they're just different. I don't know.
I mean, confidence is key inside and outside of Counter-Strike. So maybe they'll be able to mount something coming back. It does seem like they want to get aggressive into these pistols, Joe. So finding the first kill. One more player dancing around the wall. Will get found by Stormy. So, okay, it's a good start to the half. Ajax finding another. 2 Ts are all that remain. And yeah, maybe Lycus is still just playing with confidence, and that's what's going to begin to rally them back slowly. It will be a little too early to say that, but there's the potential.
I mean, NA runs on false confidence, so this makes complete sense. I mean, some people call it false confidence. Some people might call it coping. I don't know. All I know is it works occasionally. And right now, it's working for Lycus. 10-4. They're starting to build up something, again, that was just a full eco. Now we're going to see the full buy come out. AK's utility. No op, though, thankfully. They don't have to contest with that just yet. But it is going to be Lycus kind of easing up on the buy here. They're just going to keep it a free round, build up some economy, something that they lacked in the first half, even being on the T side. You never saw them have a real full, 5 AKs too often, if at all, and maybe even throw in an op unless it was picked up.
Yeah. Great mollies out from Vita to make the CTs uncomfortable mid, but instead they want to push through B main. This will be a well-timed flanked as long as the Ts aren't too cautious about it. Gon and Hambuga both dancing around. Gon's able to get a beautiful second kill through the smoke, and that backstab does now activate. Although the remaining 2 T players are going to now creep out of A main and have a bomb side wide open.
Yeah, surprisingly. We're seeing everybody kind of rotate the other way back to B, and I'm not sure why. They have full B main control, and they're kind of giving up A for the... I'm not really sure what the play is here, and they're just going to meet in CT spawn, which is the weirdest place to really meet face-to-face, but they kind of read it that way. Now Dreza with the spray, can't quite connect, does some damage, but almost gets there. And this has devolved into a 2-on-2 somehow, some way. Gon's at least hearing the footsteps so he can call on this rotate. He is going to get mollied and held off for just a little longer so they can get this bomb down. Now they're playing for the retake.
Yeah, maybe both teams overcooking just a little bit too much, but it is all even coming in for the retake, Joe. So it's going to be the first to strike, and now Kuai is all that's left, but Gon cleans up. And yeah, I mean, a weird round for sure. You never really see two of each member of the team meeting at beach in CT spawn. But if the retake works, hey, we'll take the round win if you're Lycus Empire and just keep building off of it. The buy's not going to be the best for the Ts. And the op is in play if Dreza does so choose, which he will. So yeah, I mean, all things considered, Lycus probably still feeling pretty okay.
Pretty okay is about where they're at. Now they've gained that little bit of momentum. It's a 5-round disadvantage for them. But again, they have at least, Plasma on their back foot at least a little bit here, economy-wise and now momentum-wise as well. So this is something they can work with. Again, that false confidence can play a big role that just turns into actual confidence. Good molly there, timing there, does get diffused though. Re-smoke and the counter molly comes out. They get forced off E-box and they're going to try and backpedal here with Stormzy. Just playing the other side of that smoke, holding B mate and just kind of waiting for this execute.
He wants to try to clear out. Perfect flash. Will means that B main is now clear until the remaining T comes in slowly behind. And they're still aware of the player's E-box, but they're not aware of Hambuga creeping through mid. And this is going to be everything for Vita. Can't overcook on this. He needs to activate before any of the CTs get too wary. The smoke is fading. And he's going to have a perfect shot onto 2 of the players. Dreza and Stormy both go down. Kuai there to find Joso. And now, only Gone and one other player left to try to fix this mess.
I don't think there's any fixing this. They're just going to wave that white flag, retreat. Hambuga is going to continue overambitious, maybe, but he was feeling it, and at this point, he's, it's 4 lives good, but taking away the remaining rifles for these CTs will hurt them exponentially more than if he just saved a single rifle, because now they have some, money going their way off the loss bonus, now winning, and the bomb plant, it's looking a little better, and Ajax might be able to get one more here. Oh.
No. Okay. That would have been a little too much for me. But
I
Gone
like
down
the
on
thought.
other side.
I like the thought.
Yeah.
See, that's that false confidence. That's what that does to you. It's like, no, go for the knife. It's the intrusive CS thoughts. That's all this is.
Yeah, definitely intrusive. I mean, it could have ended worse. It ended with him surviving, and with the CTs. Still, I mean, the economy's pretty much matched up. The MP9 and 4 rifles versus 4 rifles, but 2 of which, or 5 rifles, excuse me, 2 of which being Galils. So, not too different either way. You just gotta wonder what Lycus really gotta do. I mean, when Hambuga's making plays the way he is, the impact he's had all game long has been so vital. It's kind of hard to quell a player that's just always in the right spot.
Yeah. Well, Kunai is going to get damaged down quite a bit, as he is now down to 23 health. And that's really all the damage we've seen thus far coming from the utility. Nobody realistically meeting face-to-face just yet, as everyone is fairly spread on both sides across the map. But now we are seeing the T's kind of converge in towards mid, as they look to maybe kind of pincer down on this B side a little bit.
And Lycus playing mid the way that you would more so expect. Mid player rotating off into the camera once a little bit of pressure hits. So it won't be completely foregone, but the T's are slowly starting to creep up. Smoke will block off the rotate from B, and Don's MP9 is going to have to find good damage. It's a good way to start Hambuga now. Gone from the round. The rest of the T's are planning to activate. Ajax is going to have to hold this main push strong. The flash is good, but Kuai with the low HP will collect him Saber as well. But they're walking straight into the flank. Stormy finds one. Joso there to trade back. 2v2, not going to be ready for the player flank unless he makes a little bit too much noise. Joso finds the spray. Now with only 8 seconds left, Saber has to try to collect the bomb and plant, but there was no really shot in hell he was going to. Joso, perfect place to find a 3K and keep Lycus alive in this game.
Another one of those awkward rounds where time kind of is a detriment there to the T's, as it ran down so much. It kind of forced them to make these unnecessary rotates, and maybe a long lurk. I mean, maybe that lurk was going to not be so much a lurk if they actually had that, B main and mid control. But it was just kind of an odd setup that seemed like, maybe it got the best of them that round.
It must have. But now, T's just wanted to 5-man it up, already having very good control down mid.
Oh.
And without any utility blocking anything off, there's no way for the defense to know.
Oh, no.
And with Ajax pushed through A main, I mean, he's going to walk into something he's not ready for. And Hambuga is first to go, but the Tech-9's overwhelmed. And that's a clean A side now for the T's.
Yep, and maybe a little too clean here if Dreza hesitant to peek into that one, realizing exactly what he's going to be peeking into. And now Flash comes through, and Dreza accidentally hits the jump and misses every shot there. Gone trying to force the issue in towards Cell. Does find himself one. Shots coming through towards main. They can just kind of play this slow and steady here for the T's, as HP's not quite there. Gone whiffs everything with the FAMAS, but it doesn't matter. And it seems like time's ticking away, and I think this might be it. There it is, and it is going to be Plasma finding 12.
Match point now in the possession of Vita. And at this point, the economy is so low for the CT side. Some sort of gimmick play is going to have to come out if Lycus want to stay in this first map. Again, this is the pick of Vita for everyone playing along at home. And clearly, they're picked for very good reason, as they're taking a team that knows this map and absolutely ripping them apart. Dre's a little too confident. Gonna be the first to be killed into the round. And yeah, I mean, the CT's just kind of got to get some information or stack up if they want a chance.
Well, the chances are literally running out here. As Stormzy, if you can get one here. Never mind. This is a wide open B site now. 5-on-3, and I think this is GG. We go map 2 here as Hamburger finds himself another one. Joso with the 5-7. So might be a little bit wishful thinking. 2-on-5 bomb now down. No kit, no utility. They just run out, try and find something, and there we go. 13-6 is the score. I mean, Plasma. This was their map pick. They did. At no point, I think, were they really sweating what was going on in this map. They were in full control 90% of the time here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the rounds won by Lycus Empire, the first one being that Stormy 1v3 where, I mean, he kind of just hit an immaculate spray that no one was ready for. After that, they did convert one gun round, and the other 4 rounds were kind of just fluff rounds, winning the pistol and then converting the next 2 and ultimately losing 13-6 from there on. So I would love to say it was closer than the scoreline says, but in reality, it was kind of just a stomp for Vita.
Yeah, I mean, essentially 3 rounds on each half of your side there, and I mean, a lot of that success came from the opening pistol. I mean, if they didn't have that, then this would have been a 13-3 kind of scenario, 13-4 maybe. But as soon as Plasma got those rifles, there was no answer from Lycus at all. But
yeah,
I mean, maybe they can find an answer in the second map. Maybe.
There's definitely a chance in the second map. Lycus are a very comfortable ancient team, and if I do remember correctly, Vita hasn't played ancient yet in OSS at least. Before?
No, they have not. They actually flip-flopped.
Right.
Yeah.
So that could be an advantage for Vita, maybe not showing what they have to offer on the map of Ancient. Not a lot of tape for there to be studied, but at the same time, it does put Lycus in a position that they should be able to bounce back. This being, I would probably say, their best map in the map pool right now. And they're going to have to find confidence. I mean, after a game like that, it can be really soul-crushing to an extent to lose in the manner you did. But it seemed like they were still having fun. You know, Ajax trying to go for that knife kill in the middle of a really important save. So I doubt the boys are feeling too bad, but they need to really lock it in if they want to battle back.
Yeah, and hopefully they do here. We will be going on to Ancient. Till then, though, we're going to go to a short break. We'll be right back here with the hopefully not conclusion. Maybe we see map 3 and we don't stick around. You will find out.
intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to it. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that taste. Visions of you. Come closer. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you.
Well, we're back. Map 2 is none other than, obviously, it's Ancient here, and it is going to be Plasma to CT side first, and Lycus, obviously, to the T side here, as they are now down a map. And Lycus, they need to come through here so they can bring it to map 3 and maybe gain a little bit of that momentum that they severely lacked in map 1.
Yeah, they're really going to have to pull some strong performances out. Starting out on the T side, which is definitely, I would say, their more powerful side overall. And the straight hit onto the B bomb site will prove to be good as long as Saber goes down. Maxwell trading back. 2v2 now. Kuai able to spray down the first. It's just going to be Stormy left by himself. Glock in hand. He's done magic before, but he's going to need to do it again. 2 players swinging him. The first headshot is good. And I think he's aware of Hambuga's position now with the shoulder spotted. He collects the head and gives Lycus Empire the pistol round to start map 2.
Yeah, I think he's 2 for 3 in 1vx clutches now. So Stormzy hopefully can help gather up his teammates inside of his backpack and carry them across the finish line and bring this to map 3 here.
And if you got a man on your team that you want to be having a good game and feeling good, it is going to be Stormy. Confidence is key with him, and a Zeus is out. I would love to see something silly happen. Saber's spotted, so he's going to have to fall back. But I really want to see a Zeus kill come through.
Especially with that skin. It says nap time. I never knew it said nap time.
It's cute.
It is. I wish I had a want to use the Zeus just so I could have that skin. But if I could have that just on like a USP, that would be great too.
I think it's a nice way to we'll say take care of the opponent for the round. It's putting them to sleep with a little bit of electricity.
Yeah. We've all been there, right?
Obviously.
Hey, man.
But it does seem that Lycus are going to try to hit out B again.
Oh.
As a little bit of utility
No.
comes through. The Zeus does not hit the mark, and neither does his teammate nearby. So far looking like a clean sweep for Lycus. It will be, as just damage is done, no lives lost. And that is honestly, exactly what you want starting out into map 2 after the type of map 1 that we saw for Lycus. Upgrades will come through for the CT side, but it won't be perfect. FAMAS, 2 MP9s in hand, and the T's electing to keep those SMGs and try to build up more eco.
Yeah, and is going to be Plasma going with the stereotypical CT side play here of full control mid. Maybe towards Donut you will inevitably lean to, but other than that, it's going to be the fight, and Kunai comes out on top, finding a double Storms. He can only get one, and is quickly and abruptly traded, giving that man advantage to Plasma here as they finally gather themselves with these rifles, and they're poised to maybe take a round early.
Yeah. Especially with Ajax now missing his shots towards Donut, they're going to know that players mid are still in play. Saber now in the red room. Jump spotting. I don't know if he caught any players there, but they are just going to fall back and presumably slowly creep towards A main, where it is just one player playing directly on the site. So they might have a chance to do a quick hit, get that bomb down, but CTs are going to be looking good for any sort of retake that will be needed.
One of the two M4s coming in here. Kunai landing some good damage. Going to fall back and kind of backpedal. Saber going to find one as he gives them now a two-man advantage. It does seem like Gone is going to at least get this bomb down. Again, this is kind of a free round for Lycus. Granted, they would obviously rather win, but you know what? At least getting this bomb planted down is all up, and Gone
Ooh.
finds himself a quick double with little, not many people can find a double with a little nowadays.
Yeah, but his position is definitely going to be heard from the player coming in from A main. And with a smoke in hand for the CTs, it's going to be difficult for Dreza to really get anything. The first spray does come through, but I don't know if he's going to be able to find the diffuser. He's not. Kuai able to pull out the ninja.
Ooh.
And also that kill right before time concludes to put Vita right back into it, finding their first round.
But thankfully, positive side though, this is Dreza. Well, no, never mind. Just 5 AK.
Got excited for the up.
Yeah, Dreza with the NOP always makes me excited because he's very dynamic with it, very versatile, and I'd probably punch my desk too, Ajax. Honestly, I'm tired of being treated like that. Hambuga continuing to do Hambuga things with the MP9, finding himself one quick kill as he's gonna flash himself off and maybe find himself another. Nope, he's gonna try and play this one safe and just continues to be a nuisance here towards Jaguar.
Already 2 men down, and the positions known of at least 2 of the other T's. Lycus are going to be in a hard spot. One player's going to go off to at least look for any satellite flanks that could come through. But at this point, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to commit yourself off of this B site. And if you do try to rotate, at least from the cap position, CTs will be waiting for you there. A boost up does clear at least a partial part of the site, and a spray through the wall won't be able to connect with any bodies. Lycus now going to activate as Util flies over, slowly creeping up that ramp. Both of the players are segregated off the site, but Hambuga along with Chanty are there for the flank. Maxwell collects one. Stormy all by himself. No magic's going to come out for him this time. And Vita tie it up.
Yeah, only dropping one player, and that was Hambuga with an MP9, so no real significant financial loss there, which means Lycus can't stem the bleeding just yet. They're going to have to take the full eco. They're denied the plant, which could have gotten them that little extra budget to play with here, but instead it's Glocks and 4 flashes. I don't know what 4 flashes means here, but they're going to end up on potentially a site if they don't get, kind of mowed down in the meat grinder known as mid.
To get mowed down, they're going to have to first peek out, which now they will. There is no player red room, so they will be able to at least walk up a little bit. Molly towards Donut will let the T's know that there is a player dancing around that pillar. Maxwell finding the first from that aforementioned donut position. And yeah, I mean, a complete cleanup. It was going to be hard for Lycus to really get anything going there. And Vita now with the advantage. They are going to have to combat some AKs, but they're still looking good.
Lycus, though, having to take a little bit of a downgrade here and there. We just see Joso, Glil, as well as Ajax. And I will say Dreza with, no op might kind of be the missing piece, I would say. Giving Dreza that op, giving him the ability to make space, whether it be in mid or, B ramp, gives options and at least puts Plasma in a situation of a more, reactive instead of proactive. And, when you're proactive as a CT, that usually gives you the advantage.
Yeah, the whole goal for the T's is to, play it like a chessboard. Collect space, surprise the enemy when they don't expect it. And I will say Lycus is doing a good job of that right now as the CT player just falls back into Donut. Just in time for Ajax to start to try to push out. The jump will alert the CTs of what's going on. Well, the gunshots at least will. But it's all fake for now. Nothing coming out yet.
I honestly think they might have just outplayed themselves at this point. And I think they might be overthinking this. And now the fake is known to everyone. Kunai towards top red. Might have a pretty direct line of sight here of what's going on. Flash towards mid may not matter much, as they do start to execute onto the B site. But the full CT force is pretty much here at this point. They can't cancel this one out just yet. They have to take the fights and maybe win off here, and they kind of are. They're trading well, leaving just one T left here. Joso with a Glock and a Dream gets it to a 1-on-1. And Saber on just 10 HP. You can hear all the footsteps, but that's actually might give Sabe enough time to get into a good position to maybe stop this plant. Joso fakes once, doesn't even begin to think he's anywhere else other than directly behind him. And on 10 HP, the 1v1 Sabe clutches.
That's such a hard position to be put in as the last remaining T in that round. You're such low time. You want to try to fake the plant to draw any sort of push out, but CT's playing it correctly. They know that that's what you're going to do. They know that you don't have the time to work with. And worst case scenario, even if you did get the plant, then they can just reset it to an actual 1v1. And now Lycus, with just one SMG into the round and a bunch of pistols, it's gonna have to be a little bit of magic. I was gonna say luck, but never want to throw luck into the mix.
Yeah, exactly what it is here. And we are seeing the T's kind of gather more towards that A side site. Or are they just faking it again? I mean, are they outplaying themselves once more? Joso taking the range fight with this MAC-10. They're going to force the fight towards top red, at least putting Shanty off, making him kind of retreat back, gather up the forces. Oh, Hambuga takes the fight towards bottom mid, finds 1, 2, maybe 3. No, the Glocks do eventually put an end to his little reign of terror, but not before the CTs get themselves that man advantage.
Vita are just so beautifully poking and prodding this attack. And with Saber's op in the sideline of Jaguar, it's going to be the end of the round. Vita finding a 5th. And as I was trying to say, I mean, they know how to just find these tiny little timing gaps that they can take advantage of and collect 1 kill, or at least do a decent chunk of damage to the T's and kind of throw off whatever plan was there to begin with.
Yeah, and now Dreza having an op of his own after having a not so great first half thus far, as he sits towards the bottom 3 and 6, very surprisingly. Maybe this is the turnaround for him. Maybe this is that game changer that I was kind of talking about him, giving him the ability to help make that space for the T's, which has been kind of lacking. It has been Plasma for the last, 4 or 5 rounds, starting off with the man advantage fairly early, and, Lycus constantly being in a disadvantage eventually wears you thin.
The op of Dreza will need to throw a little bit of life into this T side, like you said. And I don't really 100% like the play that's going on for Lycus. They are stacked up together and trying to take a little bit of control towards B, but without the presence in Jaguar yet, not really much to do. Hambuga is forced to fall off. And as the T's now reign it does seem that they're just going to play a full retake. So 5v5, at least for now. Kunai will find the first blood. Ajax there for a quick response. And with bomb about to be planted, it does seem a 4v4 will come through unless the butt of Gon is shot too much. Excuse me, Joso. Gon, on the other hand, is going wild, finding 2. Joso collecting 1 himself. So they are able to clean that round up. And albeit pretty smooth, 4 alive.
Yeah, and there it is. Dreza didn't really have much to do with that round, but I mean, I'd like to think the presence of the op is really what brought, the team together.
Yeah, it's a scary being for the CTs to try to fend off. I don't know. Was the op even fired that round? Did the CTs know the op is in play?
That's why I said that more in a sarcastic sense than an actual sense. But,
Fair enough.
It's still, we're saying all this like it's such a negative thing going on here for Lycus, but they're only down 2 rounds. I mean, this is still a very early map 2 here in the first half. But, again, we see what Plasma does with momentum. They capitalize so well off it, and Lycus, if they fall into that trend again, we could kind of see another, 9-3 half that I don't think they can really recover from with the track record they have in front of them.
Yeah, I think, for me at least, what's going on right now, I say this as the T's just did win a convincing round, but every CT round 1 is very convincing for the most part, besides that 1 Ninja Defuse. And every time Lycus is picking up a round, it's through, strong individual plays. I want to see more team dynamic come out, as Stormy, with a nice little spray through the smoke and the wall, opens up the round. Hambuga, the impending doom force, is taken out early.
I think that's something we always have to talk about, is the fact that Plasma kind of has a lot of these players that just can, every round or 2, just kind of pop off and make the big difference here. And right now, Lycus don't have that standout star. As we take a look at the scoreboard, everyone's kind of within that same reach of each other.
Yeah, they do seem to have a good read on this round, however. As it is only 1 player A to defend. Joso sprays through mid. The long-range battle will go in favor of him. Maxwell, with a lot on his plate, does find the first, but it will just be the op of Saber left to try to recover this round. And at this point, I think a save should come out right now. Yeah.
Thankfully for him, making that correct choice, but that doesn't mean he actually gets to survive, as Stormy still around, and Sabe takes a small little peek towards A main, and the peek proves to be pretty fruitful. maybe he's gambling a little too hard. And it's Ajax. He's more than willing, I think, to maybe hunt him down. But it will be around nonetheless here for Lycus. Again, closing that gap 5-4. That nice little momentum shift that seems to kind of actually be coming to fruition here.
Yeah, played and read very well for the side of Lycus. Finding the opportunity where the A site was most vulnerable and capitalizing on it. And now the CTs, I mean, their economy isn't great. They're definitely going to have an advantage into the round. The op of Saber could pop off and work quite well, but it should be like it's, feeling pretty.
Well, seems like they may have finally fixed those anti-eco woes that they were struggling with on the maps prior. And hopefully this time, for, Saber's sake, he's allowed to save the op one more time here, because if he doesn't, the op will be completely missing. And I think at this point, it's going to come down to Kunai and Chanti to just pretty much play Protect the President.
Saber, all that remains, yeah. Gonna have to try to save once more, but he's definitely gonna get overwhelmed. As if these 3 oncoming T's don't kill him, there was a backstab in play, but Ajax collecting it instead. So Lycus tie it up now.
Stringing 3 rounds together, and again, this is kind of, the team awakening here. Gone 11-7. Joso a little behind him at 8-7. Ajax 7-6, but Stormzy and Dreza hasn't gotten a kill, and I want to say 5 or 6 rounds now.
I mean, at least he has his most comfortable weapon, so if he's gonna find impact, it will be soon. As kills back and forth will leave us even still. Well, as I say that,
jeez,
more antics towards the catwalk. Vita now with the man advantage as the map slowly calms down.
Finally here. It's starting to quiet up here as Gone. Dreza maybe trying to cover something here.
Definitely not out of the round yet.
No.
All it takes is one clean opening towards this B site for them to be straight back at it. And I mean, the CTs are stacked up towards A. So the read is good. It's just going to be a matter of when they can activate and how prepared the single FAMAS will be.
Well, a lot of it is going to lean onto that FAMAS. But he's going to be playing more of a retake here. We're seeing a lot of passive holds coming out from Plasma currently. Donut's pretty quiet. And I think this is going to be playing a lot of mental strain here on Plasma. And Dreza takes full advantage and finally gets himself a kill with that op that he's long so desired. And this is kind of a as even as it gets retake here. Op v op and AK on AK.
We'll have to wait for the smoke to fade to see what comes next. Now the CT's wanting to act too fast. A molly will come out directly behind the smoke, forcing the hand of the CTs. One player getting burned alive quite a lot, and with the bomb taken down so far and the loss of Maxwell, it will just be a nice round for Lycus. A good recovery, and now with a round advantage.
Quite the turnaround here, finally.
Yeah.
As it was starting to get pretty dire. Coming down to the last bit there, and Dreza dying. But the money's good. It's the last round and a half. Ajax has over 11,000 doll hairs. So I think it's okay to lose that one.
Yeah, quite the wealthy man. Maybe just wanting to go down with the ship. Making sure no silly shenanigans happen in the off-season shenanigans. But this will be the final round of the half of map 2. And Vita want to get aggressive down mid once more. There will be no T's on the other end of that smoke. Although, as I say that, Ajax gets a little too aggressive. Gets his head clean ripped off. I think Hambuga wants to... Maybe not. I was going to say he wants to try to get active, but instead, he will just play from the cave, waiting for the T's to swarm into the site. Shanty will be first at 5-7, not able to completely finish that kill off. Joso is low. And the tick in the molly does let the T's be aware that at least one player is in this cave. 4v4 retake will now ensue. T's definitely in the advantage, but with these SMGs and the high fire rate, it's able to be overwhelmed. Stormy finding first Maxwell, jumping through. Gon and Dreza collecting a few. And now Saber with the op is all that's going to remain. Going to have to find these kills soon. A nade doinks him and takes about 40 health off of him. But the T's play it smart, and that will be Lycus with the advantage after the first half, up 7-5.
Well, I'm saying all this about Dreza having only 3-4 kills. Chanty only has 1.
Ooh, that's spicy. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I have completely skipped over that. Only 555 damage as well. So like the assists are there. I mean, let's see how much of that is utility off of him. About a fifth of it, or sorry, a seventh to be exact.
Well, Lycus on this pistol round, putting a lot of pressure towards mid. As Vita just want to slowly creep up the catwalk. It does seem that the boost will come out at the worst time. Maxwell ripping the head clean off. And those dual Berettas aren't going to be able to find anything either. So already Vita on the B bomb site. 5 players still alive as opposed to the 3 on Lycus.
Stormzy, can he reel back from what he did on the first pistol here on this map? But now a 3-on-5 2-man disadvantage as he's going to try and take the fight, but he's not going to probably expect both players being there. There is one. Stormzy does only find one, leaving just Dreza. Nothing left for him, and 4 alive. And it seems like Plasma has maybe found their footing early on in the second half.
That's exactly what they need. You gotta want to close it out in 2. You don't want this map to get too close. Obviously, battling back from a disadvantage. Pistol round should be able to tie it up, as the CTs invest nothing but a flashbang into the round. And if they can get the ball rolling and be able to quell that first gun round that will pursue, there's a chance that they can get, 5-6 rounds in a row. So everything's gonna be riding off of the back of this anti-eco. That does begin with a very easy cleanup.
Big whiffs there from the USP.
Yeah.
Kunai finds 1. Why not with the jumping Mac 10? 5 alive. Kunai finds a triple as he farms up some extra cash. $5,500. We're back to being tied up. And it doesn't seem like Plasma is going to go away just quietly yet.
No, definitely not. And this is the situation that I was mentioning the last round. The gun advantage is for the CTs, but with a little bit less util. If the Ts are able to pull off a clean round here, the economy is not going to look pretty at all. CT aggression will mean that the first head is spotted, but wisely, that is Kunai falling back. Not wanting to give his life up too easily. And the smoke will block out any sort of Jaguar aggression. Shots not quite landing through the wall. Molotov in. Alerts the CTs that the potential for a push is possible. But they're still focused towards this ramp, not knowing that the T's already have the site.
Yeah. 4-on-4 now retake. Quite the trading of positions here. A lot of this is actually going to come down to Kunai hears all the footsteps, so he's at least relaying the information. He doesn't necessarily have to have impact, as he's already done the damage. He's, relaying the information, doing the damage, nearly getting a kill. Actually, Hambuga gets a kill with a molly instead, and it's into a 3-on-3. Or maybe not.
Lycus. Yeah, Lycus are just going to fall back. I mean, honestly, I do think this is a really smart play from them. Even if there was a little bit more time on that bomb, you got to try to keep everything you can into the next round, so Vita don't have the chance to just run away with it. Ajax going down there with only 1 kill isn't going to be the best, but with, 3,200 on 2 players, 41 on another, they should be able to buy back.
Maybe maybe not. It all depends on how they really want to play this. Do they want to play
Yeah.
for the op? We're seeing kind of a light buy coming from Joso, but Ajax with the full investment. Drazo, no investment. It seems like maybe a timeout should have been called because a hero MP9 doesn't really make much sense.
It doesn't. I will agree with you there. Deagle is brought in for Draza, so at least not going completely empty-handed into the round, but Hambuga, with an early opener, puts Vita in a great spot. Already full mid-control, prodding a little bit towards Jaguar. Vita really can go wherever they want. One CT will fall back and move towards Red Room, but it might be too little too late. Ooh, unless Stormy has something to say about it. Collecting another head to stow in his pocket. Saber there for the trade. Stormy wisely falling back, and this is going to get interesting. Ajax finds the bomb. As the rest of the T's now push through Donut, another MP9 will be waiting for there. The spray is almost good enough for 2, but instead Joso only finding 1 and leaving the T's in a 2-on-2.
Bomb, though, in full control of Ajax. The utility, though, is really what's going to come into play here because they have the utility to flush Ajax out and pretty much fully cut him off. And he is far apart from his teammate as Kunai puts him either farther away as he helps him ascend to the heavens, taking his head off. And Stormzy finds 1, but saved with the trade, and Plasma are quite easily finding the answers that they lacked in the first half here in the second.
And now the interesting game is going to be played of will the op be dropped? Excuse me. It does seem that Stormy will give it over to Draza and forego just a little bit of util. But that op is going to have to get red hot. Lycus want to find their way through the CT side. Foreman aggression, as we expect, will come through. And as the T's push through smoke, they're not ready for Ajax on the close spot. Hambuga from the heavens will trade. And now the T's in a man advantage. And, you know, again, it's the story of just getting that early mid control, having someone prod towards the cap position, and just really being able to do whatever you want after that.
Did Chanty disconnect? Was he dead or alive when he disconnected?
He was alive, but damage in the round will mean nothing can happen. It doesn't seem that it will matter too much, though. Unless Stormy can find another one of these miraculous clutches that, you know, have powered his team so far. This flash is good, but not quite good enough to quell the monster of Hambuga. Vitaplur now 10-7.
Yeah, I mean, we say the monster of Hambuga, who's 10-13, but really it's Kunai, 19-11. Kunai has, I think, on map 1 was 22-16 or something like that, so top of the leaderboard as well. As it doesn't seem like he's really given up his, you know, podium position just yet. And that Molly's going to cut Joso off, but thankfully no T's around to really take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I think the impact of Hambuga's more modest kills might have fooled me. I thought he was a little bit higher up, but all is well as Joso takes him out first. And the T's, I mean, they still do have this mid control that we've mentioned so many times. Backstab from the CTs. Well, at least find one gone. Collecting another. Lycus now up 5v2 for the first man advantage in a while. Already all that's left is Saber. With the op, a minute left. I mean, too much time to try to just save straight up. Going to throw the op out of bounds to make sure the CTs can't collect it. And seemingly thereafter just going to give his life up. So Lycus still keeping it competitive. Finding an 8th. And the economy for Vita is weird right now.
Yeah.
We'll see one player be able to drop the 2 who couldn't afford it. But this does put them in a position where if the ball keeps rolling in the favor of Lycus, it could start to get a little hairy.
Oh, indeed. But, I mean, at this point, they have to actually stop the momentum that Plasma has. Just winning 1. Yeah, you know, everything always comes down to who can put 2 in a row first to kind of break the economy, break, you know, the momentum of this other team. We keep saying momentum because both these teams just they thrive off it so much that Save finds a kill towards Stormzy, and this is a fairly open site now. And actually, Gone might be in a position to stop the plant. No. Quickly done out by Hambuga. None other Kunai. And this is a quick, fast, aggressive, clean, rounded. We're at 8-11. Plasma flipped it right back, and that's what I mean. You know, Lycus can win, but can they capitalize off actually winning and, you know, stunt this aggression from Plasma? No.
Such a perfect change of pace really threw Lycus off as they couldn't get their normal flow of map control in. And now, penultimate map point in the hands of Vita. Lycus still not out of it yet. Ooh, and that spray through the smoke of Ajax onto Saber will be a good way to start the round. Gone there to back him up. Maxwell and Ajax both finding kills apiece. And Lycus up early again early on. Hambuga trading back, finding two. Puts them in a very interesting spot. Although the bomb will go down in mid. So Hambuga, with his position known, will have to try to battle back out of the jaws of the feet. Ajax, you can't walk out with your knife like that. You put Hambuga in a spot to clutch it. Giving Vita map point. Series point.
There's nothing more annoying to me. You know, it's easy for me to say this from, you know, a perspective of watching the game and not playing it, but people, or players, I should say, thinking smokes are this, you know, impermeable wall that, you know, prevents people from walking through. Yeah, no. That obviously isn't the case at all. Hambuga just... It's not even like he did anything special. He just walked through the smoke, and for whatever reason, I don't remember who it was, or Jose, or Ajax, I don't remember.
Ajax.
Yeah, just pull, like... Just calm down and don't hit your Q button too much, and you'll be good.
Fortunately for Lycus, they're at least in a decent position for this A site hit to come in. On an Ajax combining to find the first two kills. And Ajax wisely falling back, trying to just play retake. Bomb will go down, but it is Lycus with the man advantage in the retake. Although Bomb not going down yet.
They're
He's
going
the first
towards...
one to clear out Donut. Oh, and now the map control is back in the favor, and
What?
the body control was up for a second. But they're going to beat Lycus to the B bomb site.
Okay. Okay, yeah. No, Hey, if it works, right, I guess? And it's just not the way I expected this to pan out, and this kind of felt like a pug of a round if I've ever seen one myself, and... I mean, that was an interesting way to end this one off, and sadly, that is exactly how this one ends off. It is 2-0 Plasma, and I was so damn sure this was going to be a map 3 nuke situation, but Plasma just, they haven't stopped the momentum that they had from map 1. There were signs that Lycus were about to break them. There were times where they were even in the lead by a good 3, I think almost 4 rounds at times.
Yeah, I mean, no game comes down to a single round loss causing the map to go away, but letting Hambuga find map point there in that fashion, I mean, really sealed the deal, at least in my eyes. The economy wasn't the best for that final round, and Vita just did a puggy play, but a great play to battle through Donut, make sure that's clear, and then find their way to the B bomb site, and ultimately winning this playoff game in a very convincing fashion.
Yeah. And it was a pretty dynamic fashion. I mean, again, Lycus, there were times where they were, not many times, sadly, I should realistically say, they never got comfortable. There were points in Ancient, which was their map, that should have been their kind of green light, that they could have easily kind of built up that confidence to take the fights, but I think a lot of it just kind of revolved around the simple fact that positioning was never quite there for them. They weren't locked into their little kind of ball of success that probably would have helped them thrive a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, just never really... It feels like never really waking up early on, at least, and when they did, it was just a little too late. Lycus will be bowing out of the OSS League in the quarterfinals, and now Vita go on to play Akimbo in the semis, and that's going to be a very spicy matchup, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, Akimbo are a very strong and kind of well-versed team themselves. I think this is going to be kind of another. I mean, a lot of these teams are I'd say, on the same parallel with each other, where they're all, on that same level, and it just really revolves into who kind of shows up early on, and who's just having a good day. Because again, this is kind of a scene where any day anybody can win. You can't really take anything for advantage. For realistically what it is, and that's kind of what makes these little small niche leagues like this fun, because it's anybody can win it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all these teams are in that upper tier of advanced, and as you said, I mean, any day could be a different outcome, but today's outcome is Vita winning in a very, very good fashion, and I would be feeling pretty confident heading into the next matchup if I were them.
Yeah, and I mean,
that is going to be it here, though, for tonight. Again, Vitaplasma kind of 2-0 this one in fairly dominant fashion. Sadly, Lycus fall out of this one. That's going to be it here for tonight. I've been On Gaming 23, joined by none other than my amazing friend and co-host himself, Buckethead. Tell him where to find Bucket.
Buckethead_CS on all those places that you find people, such as Twitter and YouTube and Twitch and stuff. We appreciate you guys watching and supporting this, up and coming tier of Counter-Strike. As I love to say, 2025 is a big year for us as talent, players, organizations to finally make their way up through the pipeline. So your support is so much appreciated, and please continue to do whatever you can to help these players and us out.
Yeah.
Well said, Oscar. I said better myself, Bucket. But again, thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, though, have a good one.